remember my world, the groovy guys and the beautiful girls. Drink out with me, we're gone out of time. Come take the trip, cause it'll blow your mind. Hey, your mind. Hey.
The film you're about to witness will undoubtedly be one of the most unforgettable experiences of your life. All scenes were completely unrehearsed and are presented just as the eye of the camera caught them. Whether you approve or disapprove, they are real, and they're happening now in the mod world all around you. The mod generation of the 60s is made up of men and women 25 years old and under. In the United States today, this under 25 generation nearly outnumbers their elders. 3 years from now, 100 million Americans will be in that age bracket. If these statistics imply a coming change, the youth generation absolutely guarantees it. They're an independent breed, and to adult eyes, this independence has made them highly unpredictable. The mods are not simply a new generation, they're a new kind of generation. The youth of today spent $18 billion in 1966. That's $18 billion. And what's more, the Youth Research Institute forecast that by 1970, the amount will rise to a staggering $30 billion. Today's youth see no reason for putting off using their money. Their motto seems to be, spend it, man, because there's always more. For example, hairstyles are a necessary and expensive part of the mod scene. The long, unkempt look and straight blonde hair is very in with the granny glasses wearing psychedelic set. But this group encompasses a small percentage of the mod age group. The larger percentage of the hip generation are almost obsessed with a cool look in their hairstyles. Hair upkeep varies from $15 to $20. For men, the $250 haircut is out. Today he pays $25 for the original styling and $7.50 or more to keep it styled. And it doesn't stop at the hairline. Clothes also play an extremely important role in their rebellion. The miniskirt, the micro dress, the striped tight pants, the boots are all vital to the in group. For these styles, we can thank the West End of London and Carnaby Street, because it's mostly from this street that the mod look originated. An integral part of the mod way of life is music. With the advent of the rock sound in the mid-50s, the now generation stepped in with swinging torsos and literally took over the recording business. Out of the top 100 records in the country today, at least 85 can be categorized as rock. Today's teenagers spend on the average of $8 to $10 a month on records. So in hairstyles, clothes, and music, the mod set rules, and their number grows by leaps and bounds daily. This is it, the famous Sunset Strip in Hollywood, the neon neverland that the mod set calls home. Hundreds upon hundreds of cars inch their way up this fantastic boulevard every Friday and Saturday night, fighting their way through teeming throngs of people that are drawn here every weekend like moths to a flame. It can mean only one thing, that this is the place. This is where it's at. This is where it all happens. The new sound, the excitement, the pulsating fever that blocks out the humdrum existence. The new music is what youth seek here. As long as drums pound and guitars wail, sleep becomes a thing of the past, and everybody makes it together. Come with us inside their world as the mods get it on.
Baby, look. She took the key to my Cadillac car, jumped in my Cadillac and she drove a far. Left me stranded in a Kalamazoo, making her forget all the fool like. She got a dozen rich man, had a dozen kids, drove that cat until it flipped his lid. Baby, look. She took my watch and chain. Baby, look. She took my diamond ring. She took the key to my Cadillac car. She jumped in my kitty and she drove a far. Left me stranded in a Kalamazoo, making a fortune on a fool like you. Got the rich man had a dozen kids, drove that kid until it flipped his lid. Mary Lou. She took my watch and chain. Mary Lou. She took my diamond ring. She took the key to my Cadillac car, jumped in my kitty and she drove my Mary Lou. She took my watch and chain. Mary Lou. She took my diamond. She took the key to my Cadillac car, jumped in my kitty and she drove my Mary Lou. She took my watch and chain, Mary Lou. She took my diamond ring. She took the key to my Cadillac car, jumped in my kitty and she drove my Mary Lou. She took my watch and chain, Mary Lou.
For the benefit of the older, less informed in our audience, it's time to visit a typical boutique shop that caters to the in-look of the mods. This is called Belinda's, located on the Sunset Strip in Hollywood.
Hi, I'm Charles Lang. I own a small boutique on the Sunset Strip in Hollywood. And believe you me, it's been very exciting. The idea came to us about 6 months ago to be able to have a small shop going as a boutique. We then raced around downtown and discovered that there was nothing that we really liked to be able to place in our shop, so we decided to make our own. Approximately after that, we had enough money for the rent and about 11 pieces made up when we opened the front door. Since then, things have been rather jumping. We have a lot of lively music going on and some of the wildest things that you could possibly find. You know, fashion is nothing more than a protection against the elements, but fashion can really be fun.
Hi, can I have this made shorter?
Yes, we can make it shorter. We do make everything here. But I got a suggestion for you. We have a dress that has completely backless cutout. Why don't you try it on?
Hey, that sounds great.
Okay. You know, in New York now, they're wearing slips to parties. In London, they're wearing old World War I uniforms. And fashion really can be exciting to the extent of a mood, a party, a feeling that you might have and you can relate it to what you're wearing. An idea happens from the texture of the fabric or the color or possibly the pattern, and then we go to work. We make up 1 or 2 samples and model them. If I like it, we make up a half a dozen and put them in the shop. From there, we play it by ear. Understanding, of course, that our clothes are a result of an artistic idea or feeling, we attempt to remain free, especially in thought. I think the excitement is contagious and often reflected by the customers.
Is this the one you meant?
Yes.
But you don't wear anything underneath.
Don't you find it comfortable?
Well, yes, but could I try the knit on the wall?
Sure.
Okay.
If we ever expand or become a large concern, I think I'll remember with relish the fun that we had when we were running wild here. Whether hemlines go up or down to the floor, the wearer must achieve femininity and class. Many girls want that different look and don't want to be seen coming and going. I think the kids today are flying, and the world has never been, in history, moved so fast or progressed so quickly. This, I believe, is reflected by their choice of look. I also believe that this look comes from a world race to periods of history and individualism. Individualism can be expressed privately or publicly by the mood of your look. Let's take a look at that knit job. It's something I think you'll find quite exciting. Hi. Well, what did you think?
It's a gas. I want this one and the gold one. And could you wrap them now, please?
We sure will.
Thank you.
Thank you. What did you think? Well, anyway, the next time you're on Sunset Strip, drop in and see us.
To the older, more sedate generation, this sport spells pure mayhem. To the mod generation, it seems to be the only way to fly. If you're a hippie and you like to be where the action is, then you're certainly part of the new breed that's helping to make the two-wheeled wonder the wildest thing that ever happened. The shot in the arm to motorcycling came in 1965 and was destined to revolutionize the sport. This was the year when the Japanese began to market lightweight, inexpensive machines beautifully engineered and styled to please the mod generation. Thanks to a heavy advertising campaign and public relations effort, the mod began to recognize this machine as a cheap form of transportation and a way out source for kicks. Motorcycling is now the in thing, part and parcel of the exploding nationwide boom. Today, more than 5 million Americans ride bikes and scooters. An estimated 600,000 such vehicles were sold in this country last year. Registration passed the 1,250,000 mark, and a 40% increase is forecast in the near future. As you see, the sport is not confined to the male mods alone. Women of the 60s are an adventurous, inquisitive lot, and their current rage is a love of the unconventional in transportation. Tens of thousands of females in all age groups are taking to the road on motorcycles these days because it's not only economical and practical to ride them, it's the in thing to do. Always alert to something new and kicks, something different and exciting, the girls have caught the spirit of fun offered by the expanding world of two wheels. Today, 15% of the 5 million current riders are female, and the ranks are increasing every day. There's a wide variety of events one can enjoy with a bike, as you can see here. One is the Enduro Run, a cross-country race, often grueling, always exciting. And it is negotiated without path or roadway. Others include dirt track racing, around an oval course, tourist trophy, a race over a gradual dirt course, hare and hound over open terrain, and last but not least, the field meet, an almost endless series of games and various events, all centered around the cycle. One of the most popular sports is scrambling, a race over rugged terrain with hindrances to sustained high speeds. It includes a variety of hill climbs, flat track rallies, treasure hunts, map and economy runs. Almost any part of town you're in that has a slight open area will attract the bike brigade. Now let's take a look at the most popular sport of all, surfing. In the last few years, this sport has developed millions of devoted followers among the mod generation. Here we have Mike Haley, one of the West Coast experts in action off Ralph's Beach near Point Loma, just outside of San Diego. Your only access to this surfer's paradise is by boat. Another pro, Dave Willingham, stalls, waits for a section and pushes off powering through this inside section. He comes through beautifully and then kicks out. Going out for another ride. Let's go over to the Hawaiian Islands now, the famous North Shore beach of Oahu, for some fast-moving small surf. Here we have Dewey Weber cranking a hard right and pushing for the green on a small but exceptionally quick wave. And there's Mike Weldon working his way into the inside section. hanging in the upper 2 or 3 inches of the wave held there by the offshore breezes. Paul now drops in left and then snaps a hard right turn. Here comes Vince Salem blasting through the shore break. Yes, it's true. Girls are beginning to take an active part in competitive surfing, with more joining the ranks every year. We'll leave the islands and return to California to watch Terry Osborne gliding over the late afternoon waves. Note the breaking of these waves as Skipper Bat seems to glide easily through the sections. Now we jump back to Oahu for contrast to watch Mike Weldon, one of the locals, catch that perfect island wave. Wipes out on the shallow inside reef. Hello there. This is really dangerous surfing because 3 feet of water here is all that separates the surfer from jagged coral heads that can tear him to shreds. As you can see, surfing begins at a very early age in the islands. Now let's see Australia's Midget Farley in a disastrous wipeout at the pipeline. You can't win them all. We'll hit the beach for a little diversion. Female variety, that is. Surf buddies from Waikiki check out the surf at the pipeline. The Makaha Surfing Contest draws hundreds of onlookers and surfers every year, where the surf runs from 5 to 20 feet. Two of the local surf buddies in Hawaii get ready to paddle out. 2 bunnies watching their boyfriends in action on the wild wave. Back to the surf and a real pro in action. every surfer develops his own style of wiping out. These waves generate is quite impressive. They can easily snap a surfboard in half. Surf Bunny on the beach. Doesn't look like surfing is the only sport at Sunset Beach in Hawaii. Wipe out at the pipeline and you're in for a bath. But this young surfer doesn't need a wipe out to get clean. Here's Walt Phillips paddling out one of Hawaii's big surfers. Walt Phillips demonstrating his own style as he rides Sunset Beach. Going for that long swim Sunset Beach is so famous for. And here's Charlie Galento, one of Hawaii's top big wave surfers. Gaines performs a very dangerous left at sunset. The reason for this danger is a huge coral shelf just a bare 2 feet below the surface. A wipe out here means being cut to ribbons. Surfers trying to get back outside. The inside reef here at Sunset is mean and breaks hard and fast. Van Ardalen again. Here he is switching stance. This beach honey is helping her boy wax his board. That's what I call cooperation. I wonder if she's got a sister. And it's back to the water. That's dedication, man. Real dedication. These are scenes shot on the spot of the angry demonstrations that took place on the famous Sunset Strip in Hollywood. Thousands of youth gathered to protest police brutality and the 10 p.m. curfew for all persons under 18. See hundreds of youth voicing their protest in front of Pandora's Box, a small controversial coffee house situated on a triangular parcel of ground at the foot of the Sunset Strip club area. One of the major meeting places and focal points for Hollywood's flower children at almost any hour. You can be sure of seeing a goodly representation of the now generation. Long hair and bare feet are sprinkled liberally about the area.
Because there's no other alternative.
Street, we approach the Fifth Estate, a now famous coffee house and headquarters for the movement to protest police brutality and to keep the strip open to all teenagers. Here are some of the writings that decorate the walls inside the Fifth Estate. leader of the Youth Freedom Movement and active participant is the fifth estate owner, Mr. Al Mitchell.
It seems to me that we are living in a time right now when there has been the maximum distance, the gulf between one generation and another. I can't recall, within modern times anyway, when there has been such a rejection of the older generation, the older entrenched conservative generation by youth. I think there is, looking at the very bizarre clothing, the mod clothing, and certainly the tremendous variations in hairstyles that exist, that this is a very open and a very loud rejection of a society that youth has grown, was introduced and is a product of. There is going to have to be some compromise and some meeting ground between the two generations that exist. The youth simply will not buy the world that the elders have given them. They see too much hypocrisy in it. They see too many things that is wrong with it. And I think that the elders are going to have to realize that they simply can no longer browbeat youth into following its established path, that they simply can't come up with a rational explanation why they should follow their established path. And yet I think we've got to share the same planet together. We've got to live and let live. And so there's going to have to be some meeting of minds between the two and some accommodation between the two in order for both to live in peace. I think that what we've had here occur here in Los Angeles is, in very recent times, a confrontation where certainly the older, more money generation tried to kick out the youth from a particular area, in this case the Sunset Strip area of LA, and it failed. A call went out and you had the area flooded with young people. And the entrenched power people up here realized very shortly, very quickly, that they simply could not, even with the use of the police force, drive the element out from the Sunset Strip area.
Anyone under the age of 18 years old remaining in the area will be arrested.
Racing and fast cars. Anything with speed has always fascinated the youth of our country, and this goes twofold with the mod generation. Here we see the sport of go-kart racing. It's easy, it's inexpensive, and it doesn't lack for speed and thrills. For the maximum investment of under $1,000, you can have a twin-engine wonder, capable of turning speeds well over the century mark. Sound fantastic? Well, let's watch some of the old pros here at this raceway running one of the numerous enduro races held here throughout the year. This driver is signaling trouble with his machine. Now all the other drivers are aware and will pass him on the right so he can return to the pit area for fuel or repairs. And here's the world-famous Whiskey A Go-Go on the Strip, a favorite dancing spot for both the mods and movie stars who want to get it on. Let's drop in and see what's happening tonight. take a look at a youth element known as the outlaw bike rider, whose clubs range in names from angel to devil. A group of these outlaws, when seen on the road for the first time, can be upsetting. Rocketing their way through traffic makes this two-wheeled mode of transportation an instrument of utter defiance to society's laws and a possible deadly weapon. But his chopped hog, or chopper as he affectionately calls his motorcycle, is a veritable work of art, a masterpiece in bright, shiny chrome. There is no machinery on the highway, with the exception, of course, of a small percentage of sport and racing cars that can catch an outlaw reworked Harley 74 as long as the rider can screw it on, and there's enough room to jam it. The motorbikes of the outlaw riders are really and truly mechanical masterpieces. Let's examine this machine a little more closely now. For $1,300 or $1,400, just about anyone can buy a machine that will do 120 miles an hour right off the showroom floor. That is, if you have a subconscious death wish and want to burn up half a mile of highway on your bottom side. To make the Harley 74 perform this way takes a great deal of effort, to say nothing of the skill involved. The first step is to do some altering on the power to weight ratio. The hog, as it is now called, must be stripped to the bare essentials, even to the removal of the front wheel brake. Stripping the machine takes it part of the way, but most of the outlaw choppers now add hotter cams, larger valves, and an increased bore and stroke. The only other extras carried on the bike are those the law requires, such as taillights, rear view mirror, and the handhold for a passenger. Some of their other modifications include a half-size, fully customized fuel tank, the removal of the front fender, and a bobbed or chopped rear fender. A tiny seat that sits directly over the engine, and it's so small you have to look twice to see it. Extended front forks to give the bike a longer wheelbase, a raised front end, a suicide foot clutch that necessitates split-second timing between shifting and braking, which are both done with the left foot. Now add a few personal touches, such as tiny dual headlights, a bicycle-thin front wheel, rake mufflers, sissy buttons, a tail triangular chrome rail made for a passenger handhold. Top this with a lot of chrome and flame paint, and you have a $3,000 minus man-hours work of art. It's a beauty to behold, with chrome spoke wheels, perfectly balanced flywheel, a dozen coats or more of special paint on the tank that someday may wrap into a brick wall or trailer truck if the wrong person is driving it. The rider away from his machine and on his own 2 feet can be something of a memorable sight. His display of histrionics and conversation are convincing evidence of his antisocial way of life.
Ladies and gentlemen, the young man that you are about to meet is a user of the drug LSD. He is now under the influence and has asked us to remain anonymous, so for the sake of his interview, we will refer to him as Don. Don, for the sake of the audience enlightenment, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. I want you to answer them straightforward and as thoroughly as you possibly can. When did you first use LSD?
About 2 years ago.
At what age was that?
25.
And how old are you now?
27.
Have you ever used drugs of any sort previously before this?
None.
More specifically, have you ever used any other drug similar to LSD?
No.
Would you say that LSD has helped you to understand yourself more?
Yes.
Has it expanded your mind?
Yes.
In what way?
It's as if you've lived in a large building all your life. You can go into some of the rooms and many of the corridors. After a psychedelic experience, you can go into all the rooms. You may not, but all the doors are unlocked, and you can go in all the hallways. It has made me understand myself better, more clearly. I'm more organized in my thoughts. On one trip, a dancer went with us, and she danced for us. She seemed so much more sensual, more beautiful. Her movements were more graceful, more erotic. Her skin tone, her whole coloring, everything was more sensitive. We were more sensitive to it.
Here is a visual interpretation of the type of hallucination that Don has experienced under the influence of lysergic acid or LSD. Why did you take it the first time?
I heard that it heightened perceptions.
How did you get it and from whom?
From a friend. He gave it to me.
After taking the drug with a group, could you say that it affected everyone similarly?
No. Everyone has a different brain.
Do you feel that some people are more affected than others by the same dosage?
Yes, their body weight and body chemistry is different.
Did you start with a small or a large dose?
Small dose, so about 250 micrograms.
Are you still taking the same amount, or have you now increased the dosage?
I increased it generally.
How many times since you began have you used it?
15, 16 times.
Has it affected you the same way each time?
No, I'm a different person each time.
What do you feel accounts for this?
My feelings, my well-being, many things.
Do you feel there is any specific age limit for anyone first using the drug?
It's really more a case of a mental age than a physical age.
What was the youngest age of anyone you knew of taking LSD?
Personally, 17.
Is LSD hard to come by?
Sometimes.
Is it expensive?
More expensive than I would like it to be.
Are you gainfully employed?
Yes.
Every drug has a common name that it is referred to by its users. Like marijuana is pot or grass, heroin is called H. What do you call LSD?
Acid.
Would you classify acid as a habit-forming drug, either in a physical or a mental sense?
No.
Do you know of any persons who have tried it once and never again?
Yes.
What do you feel is the reason behind this?
Inadequate preparation. They were not prepared properly, and they were afraid, and therefore had a bad trip.
Earlier, you mentioned that LSD has expanded your mind. Could you be more specific now?
With acid, you have an ego loss. And with that, you're able to see yourself a lot more plainly, a lot clearer, understand yourself better. And it's quite an experience. There is literally nothing like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are surprised, possibly somewhat shocked at this young man's bold-faced admission, his matter-of-fact attitude. You say to yourself that young people like this are definitely a minority, and it is really none of your concern. But it is, because statistics prove conclusively that sooner or later, if the trend continues and you have children, it will strike close to home. 20.7% of our youth today, ranging through junior high school, and college, have used, are using now, or will be exposed to LSD or some drug in the next 6 weeks. Frightening, isn't it? And what's more, the percentage grows at an alarming rate every day. Of prime concern in the last few years is the problem of LSD, or lysergic acid, most commonly known of the hallucinogenic or so-called mind-awakening drug. LSD is dangerous, much more dangerous than most people realize, particularly when it is in the hands of amateurs. I must repeat, this simply compounded chemical, something any first-year chemistry student can make, is one of the most powerful hallucinatory drugs man has ever known. Unfortunately, some of our psychedelic pseudo-intellectuals have made it into a glamour item which has tempted gullible young people to try it, believing that it will expand their minds. As far as it is known, LSD is not habit-forming, not in the sense that heroin is, but it might well be in its own way every bit as dangerous. What most people fail to realize is that certain narcotics, such as morphine and codeine, can have a very useful effect in the relief of pain and anxiety. But these drugs should always be prescribed and controlled by a qualified physician. LSD is an extremely powerful hallucinogen. It may someday prove to be one of our most useful drugs, a boon in the field of mental research. But it is going to require much additional investigation by dedicated professionals, not amateurs who are taking it for kicks. LSD is dangerous. It is capable of causing serious mental changes with extremely small doses. It may cause nervous breakdown and suicidal states. From experimental subjects, there are increasing numbers of reports indicating that temporary or even permanent harm may be induced, and all risks are intensified when LSD is in the hands of amateurs or kick seekers. Some individuals have required more than 2 months of psychiatric hospitalization for just one small dose. Others have been sent to state hospitals for long-term treatment. LSD is dangerous.
Karate, sometimes called karate, is another sport that the mods have taken to. Thousands of Americans indulge in this ancient Japanese art of self-defense. Let's watch as Santi Joso, a black belt holder, directs a few of his students.
Hey! Oos! Hey! 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 Yeah! Yeah! Hey! 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 Other side tack. Other side tack. Hey! Hey! Oh! Hey! Come here! Come here! Oh! Position! Hey! Hey! Đi! Đi vào! Hey! Hey! Thế! Hey! Set! Set! Hey! Pa! Pa! Set! Hey! Pa! Pa! Set! Set! After! Pa! Pa! Hey! Come here! Hey! Yes! Come here! Come here! Set! Pa! Set! Pa! Set! Hey! Keep going! Set! Hey! Keep going! Pa! Pa! Oh!
To a small percentage of mods, the drug trip and get high scene has come to be a way of life. The ultimate in weapons for this group of self-alienated youth is escaping reality by total oblivion through the use of drugs. It's a sad fact that suicide rates have risen throughout most of the civilized world in this 18 to 25 age group. In Iran, 95% of the suicides are in this age group. In the United States, it's nearly 1 in 10. Acid heads and potheads feel that the real answers to life can be found by the use of drugs. On a conservative estimate, at least 30% of all college students in this country turn on with everything, ranging from pep pills called uppers to barbiturates called downers, marijuana and amyl nitrate and methadone to hallucinogenics including LSD and peyote, and natural highs from baked banana skins to huge doses of cinnamon to even sniffing airplane glue. The widespread use of grass, better known to the unhip as marijuana, is now so widely accepted that it must be considered an integral part of the now generation's life experience. Private studies show that no fewer than 50% of some high school students have tried pot at least once, and 25% turn on at least once or twice a week. Marijuana has given way to acid, which is illegally sold at $6 a cap, as opposed to 50 cents for a Mary Jane cigarette, which is a much milder kick. Statistically, the greatest majority of the hip generation shy away from the opium derivatives such as heroin and morphine. It's because these drugs are a total withdrawal from awareness. The mod generation demands their now to be heightened and their experience more meaningful. The mods who turn on to pot or acid say their drug trip means ecstasy. sensual unfolding, illumination, even religious experience, a contact with nature, reevaluation. But for many, it simply adds up to one word: the end.
It's a mad, mad world. Come you along and see my world. It's happening. Just sit back and groove upon my world. If you're ready, I'll show you where it's at. Go! Of your life, you remember my world, the groovy guys and the beautiful girls. Break out with me, we're gone out of time. Come take the trip, cause it'll blow your mind. Blow your mind, hey! Take a look